sister really looks like right here.
Although famous clans such as the Kardashians and the Beckhams are some good examples of whole families becoming stars by association, other celebrities take a more low-key approach when it comes to sharing their spotlight and riches. Here are 10 celebrities who won't be leaving their nearest and dearest any cash or other tangible assets. As one of the highest paid actors in the world, with a $350 million fortune and just 2 children, you'd think that the Karate Kid star would be slightly more generous with his money. However, Jackie Chan has stood firm on his decision to donate his wealth to charity, declaring in 2011, if his son JC, is capable, he can make his own money. If he isn't, then he will just be wasting my money. The action superstar's colorful love life became a media scandal in the late 90s and early 2000s, somewhat tarnishing his stellar career. After almost 2 decades of union with the stunning Taiwanese actress Joan Lin, mother of JC, the actor's only son, news outlets had a field day upon discovering that Jackie had a secret daughter born of an extramarital affair with Elaine Ng-Yile, despite claiming to have paid Elaine 70,000 Hong Kong dollars a month for her living expenses, as well as a lump sum of 600,000 Hong Kong dollars when she moved to Shanghai. Her lawyers said that the transactions were non-existent. Fans hoping for a salacious love triangle were also left disappointed when Jackie's wife stayed by his side. And Elaine stated that she would raise her daughter, Etta Ng Chok Lam, without help from her famous father. So Etta and Jackie are believed to have no relationship, while JC was arrested in Beijing and jailed for possession and distribution of marijuana in 2014, serving 6 months in state prison. Can you imagine your father being one of the richest people in the world and leaving you less than 1% of his estimated $130 billion fortune? That's the reality for Jennifer, Rory, and Phoebe, the Microsoft mogul Bill Gates and his ex-wife Melinda's 3 children, who are set to inherit just $10 million each, after Bill announced in a TED conference that the family's foundation would receive most of his wealth. In 2017, Bill doubled down on his somewhat controversial statement, adding, "I definitely think that leaving kids massive amounts of money is not a favor to them." The philanthropist, who was apparently inspired by a 1986 article in which Warren Buffett spoke on the perils of leaving children huge inheritances. With that said, the Gates offspring aren't doing too badly. Jennifer graduated from Stanford University in 2018 with a degree in human biology and is currently a medical student in New York City. The attractive brunette is also engaged to the professional equestrian rider and fellow Stanford alumni Nael Nassar, although no wedding dates have been set just yet. Her younger sister Phoebe has studied at the prestigious School of American Ballet and is also a keen horse rider, whereas Rory, who is described by Melinda as compassionate, a feminist, and a great son and brother. TV's most entertaining chef Gordon Ramsay is also a doting family man, the hands-on father of 5. But that's not to say that his kids Tilly, Oscar, Megan, Holly-Ann, and Jack Scott will be benefiting from the fruits of his hard work. In an interview with The Telegraph, Gordon confirmed that he's hopped on the wave of rich and famous parents donating their fortune, saying, "It's the inheritance, definitely not going to them, his children, and that it's not in a mean way, it's to not spoil them." Gordon and his wife, Tana, have agreed that their brood of kids will get a generous 25% deposit on a flat, which some might consider measly given that the chef is a household name worth at least $65 million. It's not the first time the Scotsman has been criticized for his financial decisions either, as he received an internet and real-life backlash after laying off over 500 employees at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020. Inheritance or not, his kids might just be set for life off the strength of their surname, with Gordon's eldest daughter, Tilly, already dabbling in the world of TV, with her participation in Strictly Come Dancing and a couple of presenting gigs, despite reportedly receiving $25 million for his final interpretation of James Bond and inking a staggering $100 million deal with Netflix for the sequel to Knives Out. Daniel Craig has no intention of his daughter Ella enjoying his $160 million net worth. "My philosophy is to get rid of it or give it away before you go. I don't want to leave great sums to the next generation," the A-lister explained in an Intimate magazine interview. It's unclear if his wife, the gorgeous actress Rachel Weisz, shares the same philosophy when it comes to her son Henry. Whatever the case, Ella is remarkably well adjusted and is quietly making a name for herself on the theater circuit. After being forced to drop out of college due to her crippling depression, the English Rose got the necessary help to focus on her craft and currently leads a low-key lifestyle between New York and Los Angeles. Known for his acid tongue and his business acumen, Simon Cowell is an English record executive, entrepreneur, and TV personality who hit multi-million status after creating the popular The X Factor and Got Talent franchises, which air around the world. With decades of experience in the industry, the entertainment manager is feared and respected in equal measures by many. Throughout his career, Simon has signed a boatload of successful musical acts such as Susan Boyle, Little Mix, Labyrinth, Fifth Harmony, and One Direction. So it's little surprise that he was named one of the UK's wealthiest individuals and snagged a coveted spot on the Sunday Times Rich list. In 2013, the talent show judge claimed that he would be leaving his vast fortune, estimated at over $600 million, to somebody, adding, a charity probably, kids and dogs. I don't believe in passing on from one generation to another. It's important to note that his son Eric hadn't been born at the time, so perhaps Simon's had a change of heart since then. From becoming an LGBT icon and selling tens of millions of albums, to weathering unsavory sex scandals, which includes reports of illegal trysts with underage male prostitutes, now Sir Elton John is the definition of a multifaceted celebrity and the Your Song hitmaker, who has been in an open marriage with David Furnish since 2014, was allegedly inspired by Warren Buffett to donate most of his fortune, estimated at over $500 million, instead of passing it on to his two sons. Of course, I want to leave my boys in a very sound financial state, but it's terrible to give kids a silver spoon. It ruins their life. He stated, anything beyond the basics, they have to go out and earn it themselves. Obviously, Elton's definition of basic may differ wildly from ours, given that the musician boasts mansions in France, Los Angeles, and other beautiful locations. After maintaining a low profile for a few years in the wake of his 2016 marital crisis, and being criticized for slapping the British press with an injunction so they couldn't discuss his husband's alleged extramarital trysts, which included reports of a threesome in a kiddie pool full of olives, Elton is back in the public's good graces and has recently worked on music with Dua Lipa and other pop powerhouses. Before becoming the rock sensation he is today, Sting's early years were full of economic hardships that shaped his outlook on life and financial decisions. There won't be much money left because we're spending it. The singer-songwriter once quipped, "We have a lot of commitments. What comes in, we spend, and there isn't much left." Although that's hard to believe, with the actor and humanitarian being worth an estimated $550 million, it appears that Sting's 6 children have been good sports about the decision. They have to work. All my kids know that, and they rarely ask me for anything, which I really respect and appreciate, the real estate investor added. So what's Sting's numerous brood doing today? Joseph and Fuchsia, the hitmaker's eldest 2 children, and the product of his first marriage to the actress Frances Tomei, have both pursued creative careers in the musical and acting field respectively. Bridget, Jake, Elliot, and Giacomo, who all share a mother in Sting's longtime second wife, Trudy Styler, are also dabbling in modeling, producing, and other artistic ventures. The sometimes controversial Facebook founder and self-made billionaire Mark Zuckerberg announced back in 2015 that he and his wife Priscilla would be donating 99% of their fortune to charity. In a post addressed to their first child, the discreet couple said, "We want you to grow up in a world better than ours today, not only because we love you, but also because we have a moral responsibility to all children in the next generation." Naysayers would argue that Mark, who is currently under major scrutiny from lawmakers and the public, is only interested in bettering the world if it helps his image. From conducting psychological tests on tens of thousands of unaware Facebook users in 2012, to being accused of spreading misinformation surrounding the 2016 U.S. presidential election, it's been a decade of on and off scandals for the Harvard student and his company, now renamed Meta. On a more positive note, Mark is reportedly worth over $60 billion, meaning that his daughters Maxima and August are still set to inherit hundreds of millions, but probably in the distant future. The American novelist and philanthropist known for being Amazon mogul Jeff Bezos' ex-wife Mackenzie Scott, made headlines following her divorce, when ambitiously pledging to donate the vast majority of her wealth to charity over her lifetime. Making good on her promise so far, as of July 2020, the beautiful brunette had donated $1.7 billion to 160 nonprofit organizations, with many more millions to go. With her charities of choice focusing on democracy, climate change, and racial equality, Mackenzie has also gifted over $800 million to tribal colleges and universities and historical Black colleges and universities. The Amazon founder's former spouse has also worked with charities, helping to support those impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. In fact, her donations in the year of 2020 alone amounted to $5.8 billion, one of the biggest annual distributions to working charities by a private individual. As the New York Times reported, by dispersing her money quickly and without much hoopla, Ms. Scott has pushed the focus away from the giver and onto the nonprofits she's trying to help. Mackenzie and Jeff, whose divorce citing irreconcilable differences shocked the world, share 4 children, 3 sons and an adopted daughter. The elusive billionaire family doesn't give many personal interviews, so it's unclear what the Bezos offspring think of Mackenzie's more than generous donations. The co-founder of Home Depot, Bernard Marcus, is worth a decent $9 billion, which he intends to leave almost entirely to his foundation. In an interview with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the New Jersey native explained, "I've got all of the houses I need. My kids are taken care of. Everything I live for now is finding the right things to put my money into and doing good things for this world." Bernard, like Mackenzie, also signed the Giving Pledge, which, despite its name, isn't legally binding. The businessman's philanthropic pursuits go back decades, from contributing to the launch of the Georgia Aquarium in 2005 to funding a center to provide resources to children and adolescents with developmental disabilities. These charitable pursuits have sadly gone unnoticed by those who criticize his political views. Not much is known about Bernard's personal life, as he and his second wife Billy prefer to maintain a low profile. The Rutgers University graduate shares 2 children, Frederick and Suzanne, with his first wife, Ruth. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.